everybody your name and where you're from.
I'm Mike Watson. I'm the publisher of Freestyle Comics. I go by the moniker of Most Epic. Where I've been doing comics for a while now. I'm based in Columbus, Ohio. Our flagship title is Hot Shot. It's on Kickstarter right now, the 14th, technically the 15th issue because we have a 0 issue of Hot Shot. That's on there right now. That one's written by Travis Gibb, drawn by Brian Wolf. I didn't necessarily draw this one, but I helped with the inking and I did the covers. And that's because I'm drawing issues 15 and Ace Blade 15 right now for the two-part crossover Hot Shot and Ace Blade.
Yes. We're gonna get there. Well, the first question: you're the artist also on the beginning issues. You're the artist of your own work.
Yeah, I've drawn every single issue up to 13.
All right. I just want to say I got a particular envy of that skill set. Because as a guy who stopped drawing, I always artists are the rock stars, so I always fantasize about being able to do my own comic. I was like, man, if I didn't have to wait for pencils and inks to come in, it would be so awesome to sit at the table and draw my own stuff. So, my first question to all my guests are: when did you fall in love with comic books?
I fell in love with comic books in the 6th grade. My friend Tom Cooper got me hip to him. He was reading a comic book, and I looked over at him, and I was like, "What are you doing? That's stupid." He's like, "I'm reading a comic," and he was like, "I know that is dumb. I thought comic books were stupid." Tom basically said, "I can't be your friend if you don't like comic books, and I'm gonna bring you a stack of comic books tomorrow. If you can't find one that you don't like, if you can't find one that you like, we can't be friends anymore." And
good friend, man.
Tom was like my only friend.
How did you know, bro? That was your best friend, bro.
And so I eventually ended up going through the stack, being annoyed by it because I didn't want to read them. But Tom was like my only friend in 6th grade. And
you to lose your only friend.
yeah. And I found I stumbled X-Men number 17. Eddie Kubert, Blue Squad fighting Omega Red in Russia. And that was it. Watching these characters fight in these brightly colored costumes with these weird, crazy powers, and watching Wolverine, who is 4'0", pull these butter knives out of his hands and fight this dude to the bitter end. And he was like the last person standing. Is crazy. It just made me feel like inspired because I wanted to be tough like Wolverine.
Well, I just want to see the aesthetics of your character is brilliant. And as a comic book creator, Hot Shot felt like the name that got away when I'm sitting here making up names for different characters to design. It is so simplistic. It is so to the point. I'm asking myself, how the hell did you miss that one right there? It's just such a ooze, but I'm glad I know why, because the universe had it for you. Because the character is beautiful. First time it crossed my page, that's one thing that always catches me. The blues was just popping off. He looks like a Hot Shot. Like I just want to let you know, just off of not getting into the book, I haven't gotten into it. I plan on it, but just bare bones seeing visuals. It really jumps out. It really jumps out at you. You definitely are the owner of that one. But every time I see it, I'm like, damn, man, Hot Shot. You fool. You try to be so complex. And this thing is so simple, you know? So take us into your flagship title, Hot Shot. One thing about issue 15, I'm now releasing my second comic book, which is the first comic book and my second title, right? So to see you going on issue 15 is a thing of beauty. I can't wait till I get to that number. It shows proof of concept. It shows consistency. And the fact that you're this far ahead that you could allow someone else to write and draw something that you've been staring so long tells me that you have it on cruise control. That it's episodic and everybody understands the character and who he is. You know? So please, us as newcomers, invite us into the world of Hot Shot.
Okay, well, starting off, Hot Shot's a young man in college trying to prove to his ex-girlfriend. He never cheated on her without revealing he's a superhero. And he's more of a rookie. He's only been doing it, a couple years. This year in college is like the one where he has the suit, and he got some notoriety, and people know him, and he's kind of a fan favorite because they're not that many superheroes around right now because of something called the Zero event. But when we meet Hotshot, he is going through a breakup with his girlfriend, and he faces his first real supervillain, somebody that is like that's real serious business. And this isn't just a simple fight where he can come in and joke around and the cops arrest him at the end. This is a true powerful foe, and this foe not only being as powerful as they are, they seem to know more about Hotshot and his powers than Hotshot does. So now it's starting to bring up questions of, well, where did these powers even come from? Why do I have them? Type of deal. And that was honestly the first 6 parts. First 6 issues of that was called A Hero's Welcome. We get introduced to the world. Then we have a 2-part crossover with Dyna Girl, Carrie Kelly's Dyna Girl, which is super fun. We go into some interdimensional portals, come back for issue 9. We ground the world back, kind of take a survey of where we've gone from the first 8, 0 through 8, and kind of like reestablish Hotshot as a superhero that needs training, that's still learning about his powers and trying to figure out who he is, like who gave him these powers, where did they come from. Then the next part is a 4-part story called Unforgiven, and one of the biggest things he has to face is some PTSD from his childhood. He has to face his stepfather, who used to beat on his mother, and he felt he could never do anything as a child. But now, as a grown man with superpowers, it's a question of how far is far enough. And now we're hitting issue 14, where Travis Gibb is taking over for the writer for that issue, and Brian Wolf is drawing it all in the idea that we can put out like 4 or 5 issues of Hotshot this year. But Hotshot's going to face a new villain in each issue that we have. It's a 10-issue run, brand new villain, brand new writer for each issue, and he has to learn how to become this superhero because we have the Zero of an Emergence coming by issue 25 of Hotshot, or issue 24 of Hotshot, to be the first cataclysmic world event for our superheroes in the Freestyle Comics universe. So it's going to be a 9-part crossover that starts in Hotshot and ends in Hotshot 25.
Nice. I like the fact that you got it laid out to 25. You already know where your arcs are hitting. And and the fact, how do you feel letting go of the wheel when you have somebody else writing, and you feel comfortable?
Actually, I do. I learned a lot from working with Carrie Kelly. I've had to tone down my fandom of this type of stuff, because Carrie did a great job writing the book. It was a great crossover between his character and mine, but I failed that book as an editor, because while it's a great adventure, great characters, great voices written, it stands out more like a one-shot than a continuation of a series. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to rectify with issue 9. And again, that's not Carrie's fault at all. That's mine, because I was the editor on that book. So I learned a lot from Carrie writing it, because he wrote an incredible 2 issues. Like it's fast-paced, it's fun. Dyna Girl and Hotshot work well together. We even got a little jealousy with Vigilance coming in at the last minute, asking like who this is. Dyna Girl has like the 10-year experience as a hero, so she's giving advice to Hotshot. We see more of his world in college and stuff like that. So great issues, but I want to get better with every single one. So when we come over to the Gauntlet and I'm handing the reins over to 9 other writers, I have this map.
I do everything. I'm already having anxiety right now because I'm on issue 1. I didn't really flesh that out, but as you're speaking, I'm having anxiety. I'm like, oh my god, 9 other people in the chef.
Well, I reached out to experienced writers who I'm fans of. Also really enjoyed their work and stuff like that. And so it's been really great getting in their scripts and their bits and stuff, and seeing the bigger picture. Because once I get that stuff in, I'm able to connect lines and connect threads. Like I can see the through line for the whole series because we have about 4 or 5 through lines that have to happen in these 10 issues to get us to help move us towards the Zero of an Emergence while still telling the story that each issue has. And the heavy lifting was on them, and my God, they killed it. They absolutely killed it. They brought these voices to life. You're talking about, I got Carla Madrano, Morgan Iverson, Danny J. Quick, Travis Gibb, Tyron Silva. I got Ted Sakura and Brian J. Lambert.
Real comic enthusiast, though. I give you that. You picking guys that are real about what they do. They love what they do. So
yes.
The conclusion would always be great.
That's exactly what I'm shooting for, because like it's not even just like the fact that they're talented writers, they've done a great job on what they've written so far and you know what they put in, but it's also the fact that they have their own audiences as well. So it's kind of like I get to promote them. Like, this is Brian J. Lambert's issue. This is Ted Sakura's issue. This is Travis Gibb's issue.
A lot of cross-marketing, yes.
So, like,
very successful fan base, so that's great.
Yeah. So, hopefully we get to bring their audience over into the hotshot world, and they get a peek of it, and they're like, hey, I want to be a part of this as well.
You know, you kind of remind me at you know, since you're so far along, how Snoop was in his career now. Because, I was there when he started in high school when he dropped his first album, all the way to his career now. When he had the last album, he was letting everybody know, I didn't write these rhymes, I didn't write these songs. I'm a fan of this person, so I went with them and I allowed them to like, Snoop, you've been doing your thing for this long. Allow us to do something for you. Allow us to work with you. You know what I'm saying? So he said he gave up the reins like how you did, and he was able to make and do things he never thought he could do because he allowed other creatives, you know what I'm saying, to use their special sauce instead of always bringing what he had to the table. So it kind of reminded me at what stage he was in his career is the stage you are now in that consistency. Hopefully when I get up there, I could get onto that. But right now I have too much anxiety. I tell guys that all the time. When I'm ready, I will collaborate with everybody, but I have to establish myself first. I think that's important. But what you're doing is amazing, brother. At 15, what can the audience have in store on this Kickstarter right now? What's available in your rewards?
So we got all the books available. You can get the entire series through Volume 1 through Volume 3. The issue 13 that came out last month. Of course, this new issue. And then we've got 4 exclusive variant covers for this Kickstarter campaign. So you can get all of those. We're making it at a super discount where you can get every single issue in the Freestyle Comics universe. So that's all 50 comics. It's kind of we got it at its bare bones. We're just giving you like the meat and potatoes of this right now, and the idea of is to complete one Kickstarter and move on to the next one. Like, we just wrapped up Hotshot 13. I've shipped out a lot of that stuff for Hotshot 13. I got to go back and check surveys because some surveys weren't filled out from the last Kickstarter. So I got to go back and check those to get them to them. But for the most part, Hotshot 13 has been delivered. Everybody's got the digitals and everything. And we sent out, issue 13 has gone out. That's out in the public. So now we're moving on to the next issue. And the idea is to be able to turn these Kickstarters around really quick and get us to the next one.
Right. I even got to the point where I figured, like, I'm just going to do the book printed, get it in my house, and then start my Kickstarter and just use it as a pre-order because I'm not trying to get caught up in nothing with anybody who wants their stuff. After all these episodes been happening, so I've been adjusting and been learning, man. It's definitely stressful when they don't fill out that survey because you just have a whole bunch of people that's unchecked, no way to get them their stuff. Bring us into the world of the other titles you have on Freestyle Comics, whatever you're working on.
Right now we got our interns have started for the summer, so they're digging in on our source book. Our source book 4 and 5, they're working on that. And that's kind of like our anthology story where we have short stories featuring all the characters of FSK. The Wolf, number 4, the pencil just got done with that. She's a bounty hunter in our world. She hunts down superhuman people who are using their powers illegally because they're not registered. She used to be a cop, smart ass. loves jackets and collects shoes and rides a motorcycle. Carries around her dad's signature gun as a pass down. Then we have Vigilance. That's in full work pencils by Guida. I just got 3 pages from Guida yesterday. They're looking really good. Then we have a new title that we are taking over called Celestial Pulse. And so that's going to be actually our next Kickstarter. Vigilance will go after that. Then we have, what else we got going on? We just released Instinct #1. That was it was only like 12 pages, but it's a new issue, new character, brand new character to FSK. We just released that on Free Comic Book Day. Then we are moving on to, Cypher. Sourcebook is our character book. Cypher is our anthology story. We got our 3 stories done for that, and we're wrapping that up. That's going to be composed of The Wolf, Instinct, and Regulars. Regulars is a series that focuses on Carla, Mike's ex-girlfriend, and her side of the story from, seeing it from her perspective. The relationship of how damaging the relationship with Hotshot was to her mental psyche. Then we have Heroes International, which is our Avengers team, except they suck. They're the worst team ever put together. Then we have...
Except they suck. I like, those little extra tags on people is what buys my interest, because I just like the quirkiness, It already sounds hilarious. Because except they just suck. Sorry.
Everybody likes that one.
Yeah, I'm a comedic fan, man. My father raised me like that. So when you put that in, I can already see where you're going with it. That sounds like it's going to be the one I want to check out.
Yeah. We also have a comic called Emerald Quest, which is like our Star Wars story, fantasy book, magic, dragons, and all that stuff. We got 4 issues of that completed. Brian J. Lambert is taking over as the writer for that one on issue 5. Fantasy book, 15-year-old girl named Marky. She's a military savant, and she has the keys to save her world, but she just doesn't realize it yet. We did our first horror book last year with Travis Gibb called Concussion. We have a kids book called Hotshot and Friends. Spider Squirrel's also.
How's it working with the kids book, man? Because all right, my new title is demographic 8 to 12, but it's for all ages. But the kids demographic is somewhat vague to me because no one's entering it, not even the big 2. So I don't even have a blueprint that they set to base off of. I'm looking at David Ilke, Dogman, and Diary of a Wimpy, but those are more books. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Those are ones that kind of run Scholastic. I'm looking at the roadway, and it's looking like I'm not understanding what's ahead.
So Scholastics is great. I would love to be able to get a book of Scholastics.
Yes,
we haven't been seen by them or anything like that to where they've seen anything that they like from us. But
you usually got to grind and put in the work and come up on their radar. From what I found out, that for you to have that buzz, you basically got to do the work yourself and get your own buzz. And then when you get the buzz, you know what they say, then the bandwagon starts.
Well, yeah, that I believe that for sure. Also, but if you go to a show like New York Comic Con, Scholastic goes there, and they go down Artist Alley, and they go through the publishers section, the indie publisher section, and they buy every single book at every single table.
Sure, I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah, they go through there. They have their team go through, buy every book at each table, and then that following Monday and Tuesday, that following week, they just drop all the books off in a table in their office, and they have people read them, and they pick which ones they like. So that's another avenue. We got to be part of that experience, but we didn't get the call back or whatnot. So there's a couple of different avenues to get there. As far as the children's book, it's just nice to have a book to where I can say, where I can just shout it out to parents and little kids, like, this is our children's book. And it's more of a Calvin and Hobbes style comic with how we tell the story. Veronica Smith writes a majority of those stories. She also draws and colors it, and Veronica Smith is like the heart for FSK. She does a wonderful job with that. and these are just short, little fun stories. And like if we reference them, they do happen in the world of FSK. It's just seen through a child's eye.
Gotcha. Floppies, right? Just like script, paper trade, the trade paperbacks. They don't really deal with floppies, right? As far as
Um.
Scholastic.
Oh no.
They don't deal with single issue floppies. They only deal with trade paperbacks, right? And
With
bulk.
that. Well, I don't know. We had
I'm saying,
somebody.
you know, from what I've been researching, but if you actually spoke to them, then what you know, the advice you're giving me exceeds what I've been reading. But they say they favor, you know, the trade paperbacks and not the floppies. So wait until you know you get your first trade paperback, and then maybe be able to approach them in a better manner.
Well,
But it's harder because remember, floppies are spineless. They can't go on the shelf. Once you get a certain thickness of a trade paperback, you can put it on the shelf that's printed. So I tell a lot of indie comics that every 4 to 5 issues, you should try to do a trade paperback. It increases your odds of getting into Barnes and Noble section, anything with a you know that they have to put on shelf space. Because if you don't have no spine, then you can't go on a bookshelf.
this is true. So I'm not saying that that's not true. That absolutely sounds legit, and that could be a rule. I can only speak from my experience, and in my experience dealing with them, we had a creator that was with us. After Scholastics bought all of our books, they came back the next day, and they were highly interested in that creator's book, and he only had one issue out.
Oh, they were floppies. They were that they were interested
Yes.
in. Oh, okay. Yeah, listen, man. I just wanted to know because when I read that, like, man, okay, I gotta wait till I get into, you know, trade paperbacks before I get there. So I didn't know. I thought maybe
Well,
they didn't deal with floppies.
it might also be a thing that like that story really stood out to him. Those characters really stood out to him, and it was something that they might have
Yeah,
wanted to jump on now before somebody else did. So I'm sure there's exceptions to that rule, but I
yeah.
believe that is the rule in play.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, just asking for understand it. What's the best and the worst part of comic creation for you?
Oh, the best part is having somebody read your book and seeing their face light up as they read it. Or someone buys a copy of it on Friday and they come back and they buy the next issue on Saturday, or seeing customers from other conventions and stuff. They come find you to get more of their issues. Come get more of the books. Probably my favorite one is I have a guy who comes to the table every year that I'm at Columbus Show. Comes in, he says, "What's up, Mike? What's new? What's my new issue? Is that?" Buys it, shakes my hand, and leaves every single year.
I got a supporter by like that, and there's nothing they don't ask. It's just here's my money. You know what I want, and there's no back and forth, no fake stuff. Just like they just generally like what it is that you're doing. I definitely vouch for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's definitely a beautiful word. What I was gonna say here, what has to happen for you to say that you made it in the medium right now?
Oh, for me to be able to make it is
No, for you to say that you made it. What has to happen along your journey?
well, I feel like to a degree I have made it. So maybe there is, as it's been said before, there's levels to this. I think that I've made it as a creator because we do have an audience. We have people that come and buy our books. That people are talking about our characters online. There was a thread that was just started a couple days ago.
Yes,
Where
I was
people
on
talking.
that thread. I had to jump on there and testify.
Yeah. So, and I've had kids come up and buy an issue and buy another issue, come back and buy another issue, and then watching them get excited reading the comic in front of me because they just couldn't wait to get to home to read. They had to read it now. So I think in that regards, I have made it. But I would say the next level of that is that we're making a certain amount of money monthly. Like we're moving a certain amount of books. So when I can 100% live off of making comic books, that's when I've officially made it. And I'm not talking about like I got to make millions of dollars. I'm talking about like I'm
That's
able
my
to.
answer right there. If I could pay my bills, like say you're living on 50,000 a year, or this person living on and I'm able to make that $50,000 a year that I was living on doing comics. That's it, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm a rich man. That was always my answer to that question. Once I don't have to do construction, man, listen. All right. What was the one thing you would do going back that you did that you would do differently? Now looking back, hindsight is 2020. But what's the difference? What's something you would have done differently along your journey?
Never quit.
You had a time where you quit.
Yeah, I had a time where I quit. I had a time where it punched me real hard in the face. And I stopped making comics for a while. I pulled myself away from it. I ran and hid. I would have, tried to talk to myself and find a way to persevere through that. And then, find a way back to it.
But sometimes the trip away is probably what brings you back. Sometimes you just need to step away. Sometimes. So I wouldn't say you quit. I would just say that was a slight hiatus. Yeah, because I took a hiatus 2023 and 24. I buried 5 family members, including my father, and I kind of was on the brink of depression. And I was just going through my book one day of all the ideas that I had, and that made me even feel more depressed. But I was watching a video, and my first comic book I made in 2021. The first time I ever sold it was in 2022 at a pop-up shop. My father was there, and he was behind me while I was pitching my comic book, and he was just cheesing from ear to ear, like smiling, like a big smile, and just something I never noticed in the background, when I was watching the videos, and just the way he was smiling with pride. I was like, man, you got to get the hell up off your ass. Like, look at his face. You know what I'm saying? What would he be saying? You sulking, you feeling depressed, you looking crazy. What would he say to you? And my father's a very aggressive guy, But in goodness, though. Like, what the hell you doing? Get up off your ass, man. Fix your face. Get right. And he did that to me when I was going through a tough time in my life. So I just thought about that. I looked at it. And I tell people all the time, comic books, it brought me back because I really felt like I was at the edge. And I always read about depression, but I never dealt with anything close to it. So it was just something, you just heard about on the exterior. But I had to look back and be like, yo, bro, you were really there. You was on the brink. You were on the cusp of that, And this thing really brought me back. Went on out there, started doing a Kickstarter, wrote my script, then wrote a second script. And they came out so good. I was like, oh my God, this script is amazing. I could just imagine how the panels are going to look. Then I hit my artist back, and I got him started on the first 5 pages. And I was sitting with this story for about 10 years or more, And then I didn't know the power of comic books. I just tell people, man, find what you love and get to it because it's really pertinent to your mental health, So much things going on in this world. You got to find something that you love and stick with it. So I like to end all my interviews with a nice little game. There's no right or wrong answers. It's either this or that. You just whatever you feeling one over the other at the time, and it's called this or that, like the old Black Sheep song. 49 this year, so I got a lot of old references. I make some references sometimes, and people look at me and I'm like, damn, bro, they don't know what you're talking about. So I gotta keep pinching myself because this comic book thing makes me think I'm really young still.
That's a good
question. First question is Sega or Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
A man who knows what he likes. Avengers or X-Men?
X-Men.
Thanos or Darkseid?
Thanos. Manga
or American comics?
No, I'll take that back. Darkseid.
Darkseid? I always thought he's a little bit extra, more interesting. Manga or comic books?
Oh, right now, manga.
Manga? All right. Frosted Flakes or Corn Flakes?
Frosted Flakes.
French toast or pancakes?
French toast.
All right. Pepsi or Coke?
Neither.
All right. That's an answer too. Batman or Superman?
Ooh, Batman.
Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac.
Wakanda or Asgard?
Wakanda.
Thundercats or Transformers?
Ooh, Thundercats.
That's the you see that sound right there is what I try to plot the questions for. They have to have the equal coolness, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, Star Wars.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Ferrari or Lamborghini?
Neither.
Beer or wine?
Oh, neither. I don't drink.
Drink. Okay, no problem. Joker or Lex Luthor?
Joker.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Nas.
Let's go. Oh, what we got here? One Piece or Attack on Titan?
Attack on Titan all day.
All day. All right. And the last question is: what is the greatest fictional villain of all time? Not comic books, fictional villain. I have an answer in mind, even though there's no right answers. But I always have. I think I have the answer in mind. But you tell me what you think.
It's Mr. Smith.
You think so? No, bro. It's
Right.
Darth Vader, bro. It's Darth
No.
Vader. It's no one in the world is gonna see a picture of Darth Vader and not tell you that that's that guy from Star. Like, and with the most epic reveal of all comics, Luke, I am your father.
Look, I
As
don't
a
feel like
writer,
that
I'm looking for reveals like that right now.
until Disney bought Star Wars
Yeah,
and
it's
they
like
started
that all the
showing
time.
and started doing Darth Vader in the comic books, none of
Yeah.
that shit was happening. They just said that stuff that Darth Vader was the biggest, baddest, scariest motherfucker.
No,
all
not,
around.
not that he was. I'm just saying, when I say who's the best, I actually mean, okay, in pop culture, who's the most recognized villain? I think I should have worded the question.
Well, if you're going about most recognizable, Darth Vader.
I should have worded the question differently. Now that I see.
But if we're talking about best villain, it's hands down Mr. Smith for me.
Yeah, Mr. Smith I like Mr. Smith. He was definitely everywhere. It was an obsession. I like when
was
it's
so
an
good.
obsession when the bad guy has like an OCD, like this obsession with the protagonist. I kind of love that. You know? But listen, man. Tonight we have the Honorable Michael Watson. Listen on Freestyle Comics. The Kickstarter is live. We have Hot Shot with about 15 issues. The average of an indie comic creator is one issue a year. So this was equivalent of 15 years of a creator in the indie world. That's why I envy my brother here. Thank God he did not quit, because now he's on issue 15. Better is the ending of a thing, my brother. I'm glad you stuck with it, because you're stuck with it. This inspired a little guy like me who's just started in COVID. You know what I'm saying to you? So to see the algorithm of guys like Advent Comics and you and all these guys doing their thing is what gave me the motivation that an old dude like me could pursue his dreams so late in life. So I thank you very much that the good Lord kept you on your pathway, and it was an honor having you on tonight. I'm going to put this on Spotify. You put Indie Creators Assemble. The full episode will be on YouTube, and then I'll chop up some clips and tag you in it. You can use it for promotion. All right, my brother?
Thanks for having me on here, making space for me to come over here and talk about this thing I love so much. I really appreciate your flexibility and the time and scheduling, and it's an honor that you would say that I've in any way helped you on your journey, because somebody else has helped me, and I saw somebody else and they made me want to do it too. So it's an honor to be a part of that small puzzle piece to help you make yours.
Thank you. We all stand on somebody else's shoulder. So thank you for being here tonight, and have a blessed night.